You take your place in a proud tradition steeped in the high ideals of honor, integrity, service, and most importantly, perseverance. Today, these young men and women officially become a part of this legacy, and along with it, all the responsibilities it entails. Ladies and gentlemen, I was preparing my remarks for this morning, and I was reminded of a familiar advertising pitch that many of us have seen run by the United States Marine Corps. That pitch epitomizes discipline, strength, and fidelity succinctly in 5 simple words. Wanted, a few good men. Not many words, but a powerful message indeed, and it's said by its implication that this was not for everyone. As the General pointed out, there were 140 young men and women who started this journey, and 100 were able to persevere and make it. So it's clear that the Challenge program and all that it embodies is not for everyone. So it's not a general call for an average person. So before you see extraordinary individuals who were able to meet that challenge. The word few indicated that this was an isolated and somewhat specialized opportunity. There was a need. The word wanted indicated that there was a role to fill and someone needed to fill it. Not everyone could, but someone must. The request was not limited only by number, but by quality. A few good men, irrespective of gender, meant that only those of a certain caliber need apply and of a certain conviction can be successful to meet that goal. So the call was clear. A specific need existed that could only be filled by a few special people who have to be of a certain kind of person to qualify. The very exclusiveness of this appeal added to its desirability. An element of intrigue existed simply because the inference was not everyone need apply, not everyone could qualify. The Challenge program epitomizes this principle. The Challenge program provides stability, consistency, and most importantly, an opportunity. But this opportunity is only available for those who are prepared to meet the challenge. That is why today's ceremony is so important, because each and every one of these young men and women have taken upon themselves to successfully meet that challenge. And today, they are charged with accepting the responsibilities that the leaders of this program have committed themselves towards, improving the quality of life within our communities, and enhancing educational opportunities for all of New Jersey's youth, regardless of how they got here or the road they took to be here. Now, these young men and women may be sitting in their chairs wondering, how will they live up to this awesome responsibility? And trust me, they are not alone. All of us, each and every one of us in this room who cares deeply about our country, our state, and our nation, probably has thought the same thing. And like many things, the answer to this question is not complex. This isn't advanced mathematic theorem or anything of that nature. In order for all of them, and frankly all of us, to live up to the New Jersey Challenge Program's mission, we must first dedicate ourselves to being the change that we want to see in our communities and in our world. If we can begin by making ourselves a true manifestation of those words, then we will have begun the process. We must always strive, and I say this because it was taught to me, we must always strive, whether it's in the light of the day or in the den of the night, to be an embodiment about everything that is great in our community. Then and only then can we by the walk of our lives, rather than simply by the words out of our mouths, be an inspiration to those around us and those who will come this way after us. It's at moments like this that I'm reminded of a story that was told to me long ago, and it predates all of these young men and women up here, but it's one I believe captures this opportunity that you have before you. So the story is about this great bank robbery that happened in 1970 there or other. Actually, it predates me a little bit before I was born as well. And it happened in New York. It was at Chase Manhattan Bank. And the New York Times headline screamed out, "Crime of the Century." And the reason why I said crime of the century is because the perpetrators of the deed were able to get in and out without a trace, no fingerprints, no footprints. Only thing folks knew was a whole lot of money was missing. And when you think about that story, you think about it in the context, again, no footprints, no fingerprints, in and out without a trace. That story gets me to thinking, because there are some of us who live our lives like that bank robber, moving in and out of life, leaving no footprints and no fingerprints that we ever were here, that we ever did anything to positively impact our community, change the course of a young man or young woman's life, just happy to make our way through, not leaving any indication that we came through this place. And for me, this can't be how our story, how their story, how anybody's story can be written. The men and women on this stage have been given this chance to once again become the authors of their future. When I was a kid, I grew up in Philadelphia before I moved to Southern New Jersey. And my family said I was a lot better at breaking law than making law. And I sit here today because somebody got in my path and changed the direction of my life. The story's often been told and many of us have heard it. I have many friends who I called my brothers, who I grew up with. Most are dead or will never see the light of day because they're incarcerated. That was my crew. That was who I was with. Somebody got in front of me. Now, whether it was divine intervention, a parent, a community leader, or the challenge program, it got in front of the lives of these young men and women. And all I would say to you is that no matter what the last chapter or what anyone has said about your life up until this point, never ever give the pen to your life story to someone else to write. You now have this opportunity today to make the decision that you will impact your community in a positive way. You'll make a decision that will provide, hopefully, positive mentorship and guidance to some younger person who needs to hear from someone, quite honestly, who's been there and done that. Because so often folks tell us, and I remember when I was a kid, folks would say to me all the time, you need to do this, you need to do that. But they didn't come from where I came from. You're going to have an opportunity to go back and talk to people and tell them, I've done that. There's a better way. I did it, you can do it. You'll be a shining example to your peers and let them know that they can move forward in their lives in a positive way, no matter where they've come from before. So I'll ask you to make the decision that you're going to be the foundation on which not only your community, but future New Jersey Challenge cadets can build upon. Because you can say, I made it, and you can too. Today, my friends, as I said previously, these young men and women officially begin their next journey to the chapter of their life. They're committed to not giving that chapter, letting someone else author it. They're going to be captains of their future, as the poet said. So I would ask you to help them, and I will ask them to commit themselves to this cause and to this mission. And by hard work, initiative, and always by the grace of our Lord, they will have changed their committed community for the better, and they made positive impacts on all of us around you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this opportunity to address you this morning. Thank this wonderful class of leaders for perseverance and allowing themselves to give themselves a future because they deem themselves that important. I would encourage you, whether you're through bloodline or friendship, or even if you don't even know any of them, extend your hand when you see them and encourage them. Give them the commitment and let them know that our community believes in them and believes in their future. Because that's the only way we can make this thing whole and make it right. As the poet said, it takes a village to raise a child. That may be true, but today this is our village. And let's uplift these men and women and allow them to know how important they are to making our community strong. Thank you all. God bless you.